This is Midnight, 5 NFL fans versus 5 Premier League fans. I'm going to read out loads of statements and these two teams are going to argue on which sport is best. Football fans, are we ready? Come on. NFL fans, are we ready? Let's go! It's time for the fair statement. NFL players are better athletes than footballers.
Okay, so firstly, I would like to know how you define better, because there's so many different facets of being an athlete. What do you mean by better?
Well, I mean better in the sense of there's a broader range of skills on an NFL team. You know, when it comes to football, there's only real one skill, well, cardio and kicking the ball. When it comes to the NFL, there's lots. Strength on the D-line, O-line, linebackers who also need speed. You can even put kickers into that as well.
So overall, I think NFL is very limited in what they've been asked to do. So some of them are very, very specialist, which doesn't make them overall completely a better athlete. Does the name Desmond Watson ring a bell?
Well, I mean, when it comes to...
Does Desmond Watson ring a bell?
No.
So he's 464 pounds, that's about 200 kilograms. Sport, that doesn't really scream athlete to me, more screams darts.
Well, I mean, that's why he didn't make the NFL roster.
He played in the NFL though, he has played.
No, he didn't play in
There's
a
another
regular
one,
season game.
there's
But then
another
you look
athlete.
at the football, you're saying limited. Football's limited. There's only one thing you have to do. That's it. When you look at the NFL...
What's one thing?
You have to kick the ball. That is the end goal of football. You look at the NFL, there's multiple things. Whether it's a running back running the ball, a receiver catching the ball, throwing the ball, linebackers...
So you're saying that soccer, football, they don't run?
No, I'm saying that when it comes to cardio, you know, football, hands down. Let's be completely honest. When you're looking at the broader range of
being an
skills...
athlete.
Yeah, but I'm saying that NFL players versus football players, cardio is the only thing that football players actually have the leg up on. Strength, and also, I'd say, learning the playbook as well, that's something that is intrinsic with American football.
But they only have to learn their set positions. In football, you
That's
have
not
to
true
learn
at all.
so many different aspects. There's so many different denominations of the one position in football that it takes such a higher IQ to learn.
I completely disagree. You're saying that American football players only have to learn their one position. That is nonsense. You have to train in multiple positions in case people go down. D linemen cross-train as O linemen. Linebackers will even train as DNs. Running backs will train as receivers. You can even see quarterbacks, when on practice squads, will also train as receivers as well.
How much do NFL players run on average per game? In what, 4 hours?
Well, I mean, it depends on the position.
Okay, I can tell you how much they run. It's about 1.25 miles per game.
Ooh! And I'm just saying that the cardio factor for football is the big one, but everything else is American football.
You can't be an athlete if you can't cardio, man.
But I mean, there's other aspects. You know, when it comes to being an athlete, in the different sports, it's categorised differently.
Another part of football is, of course, you've got the endurance, you've got the cardio aspect of it. Footballers make more sprints overall in an 11 than NFL players do.
Yeah, I'd say that that's fair, but then you also have to look at the positions where they are sprinting more, like linebackers and running backs. It's not a completely dead sport. People aren't stood still for the most part. At least when it comes to American football, they don't have the cardio, but everyone is getting involved in a play at every single play. It's not just a case of, okay, so he's got the ball, so then he's going to run and he's going to kick it. No, every single member of the 11 of an American football team is doing something that would make them an athlete.
Some of them don't even touch the ball
What
in
do you mean
4
some of them?
hours.
Yeah, but that's because there's different positions.
Just stand there. I could stand there.
No, but you don't stand there. That's the thing.
Okay, I could crouch there.
Yeah, but, okay, have you ever... No, obviously not. But O-line and D-line, they are doing something. It's not a case of them just standing around.
They're just standing there being heavy, though. Honestly, they are. They're just protecting the quarterback.
That's complete nonsense when it comes to the technique that comes to being on the D-line and being on the O-line. There is technique there. They're not just standing there. The D-line is trying to run through someone, and the O-line is trying to make a wall.
A glorified human shield.
How many big hits do they take in football?
Have you seen Vinnie Jones?
He's the one that did the hits.
And as well, without pads.
All right, so the pads thing is silly. The pads thing is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm, surprised it didn't come up sooner. The pads make the hits harder because they're there. They think that they protect them so the hits can be more violent. You compare it to any other sport where there's tackling. There's normally form tackles. In American football, they're blasting people all over the field.
So you're telling me that in football, soccer, that it's not as physical and it's not as dangerous, even though there's way more leg breaks, there's way more knee snaps, there's way more of bottom half injuries going on.
Then you look at American football, then there's a lot more top-heavy injuries. They are as dangerous as each other. It's a sport.
Okay, so if there's more injuries and there's more padding and they're better athletes, shouldn't there be less injuries because they're so-called so much better built and so much better defined and trained for the sport?
Well, because there's calibre of athlete. Like, a bigger athlete hits someone who's a worse athlete, the worse athlete is probably going to be injured. But at the end of the day, they're still athletes.
Are they the best athletes, though, the most rounded athletes? I can't really get past this fact that they don't run.
I mean, if you put the overall American football player, if you sort of amalgamate them into one player...
You can't do that, though, because I could take the best aspects from every football player and say, this is the best footballer to ever
exist. No, because the best aspects of the football players are all the same. They're all the same.
They're not.
They are.
Okay, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. The two best of their generation, and they're different. They're completely different.
What about goalkeeping then?
What do you mean about goalkeeping?
Well, you're going to amalgamate that in as well? I mean, you look at a goalkeeper, you brought up the point of, well, the O-line and the D-line just stand there. Goalkeepers, for the most part, they just stand there.
Ooh, they don't. That's just fallacy. That's just false.
What are you talking about?
They just stand there.
They do just stand there. Well,
it's the most unique position on the pitch.
If you are saying...
It's the only position that's allowed
If
to
you
use
are
the
saying
hands.
that the O-line and the D-line just stand there, then I will make the point to you that the goalkeeper just stands there.
Goalkeeper touches the ball more than most NFL players.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's not about touching the ball. You've got it in your head.
It's not about touching the ball.
In American football, no, it's not.
You just look at it, that's it.
So if it's not about touching the ball and it's not about running, what is it about?
Well, it's about scoring plays. There are certain players that aren't even legally allowed to touch the ball in American football because they have to shield the quarterback. Like, you've got it in your head that it's a case of everyone at every point is going to have the ball in their hand to score a touchdown. That's not the case. It's a team sport. The whole team is trying to score a touchdown as opposed to just a single person.
And this team sport that you claim is full of specialist players. They can't be the best overall if you need so many different specialists specialising in different parts of physicality on the pitch. They can't be the best overall players.
Can I just step in for 1 second? So we've mentioned that cardio is, what you agree, would be the strongest for football, for soccer players. And maybe muscle and strength, would you submit that probably NFL players would probably out-strength?
Possibly, yeah.
What's the third skill? What is going to win this argument?
Right.
Because that is going to decide it for me.
Okay, I say like the fast twitch muscle fibres of the receivers or the running backs, being able to make cuts, being able to run routes, throw off their defender is probably the biggest X factor outside of both cardio and strength for American football.
If we go overall athlete, if you put 11 footballers versus 11 American footballers, the 11 footballers would be able to do more generally than those 11 American footballers because you have some American footballers who can't run, and you said the speed, agility is an important factor, whereas you put an 11 of soccer players in 100 metres, they'd all generally hold their own. It's not the case on the other aspect of things.
But you'd have to sort of dictate what the games in that they are competing in that analogy.
Okay, speed and agility test.
Okay, but then that's taking the sort of top factor of the football players. If I turn around and say, well, you know, the strength and muscle of the NFL players, you put them in, you know, a bench press competition.
Here. We were talking about speed and agility. I've already said about the strength, and I'll give you it, but you made it about speed and agility, so that has to be what we talk about.
I've not made it about speed. I mean, I do probably comprehend that the football player is probably quicker, but I'm talking about the fast twitch muscle fibres of being able to, you know, make
fast twitch
routes.
muscle fibres is what makes you quick. So we are talking about speed.
But I just mean in the sense of the specific example of a running back or a wide receiver running routes.
Okay, so those two positions does not make them overall the better athletes. It just makes the running backs pretty good.
But then what's your third attribute for?
I'm happy to stay on speed and agility because I feel like I'm with it. But I think that overall football is.
I made my decision. I'm purely for that last sentence. I'm going to have to send you off, Kai. I'm going to have to send you off. And it's 1-0 to the NFL side.
No. There's a rugby player who plays college NFL and he's much better.
Statement number 2. Soccer fans are better than NFL fans.
Well, it's football, for a start. We play football with our feet. There's no argument here. I think we should just polish it off now. How are you better fans?
I think NFL fans,
Why?
It's a very different type of dedication. As someone that is a massive Aston Villa fan, has been up and down the country, and as someone that's been to NFL games, there is a certain dedication that I don't think football fans can pin when it comes to American football.
In terms of what?
In terms of...
You wear a colour, your team's colour, every single day, and that is it. That is the only thing I can see from an NFL fan, because they go there to drink beer and eat.
Yeah.
But we go there to support our football team.
Do you?
There is no way on earth that you can tell. I've been to NFL games. I've been to American sports games. I've been to football in general over there. You go there to eat and to drink, and that is it, and talk to your mates.
What team do you support?
West Ham.
West Ham.
West Ham.
Do you think if West Ham go down,
I'll be there.
you'll be there? But
We'll all be there.
But will half of the London Stadium be there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've seen the London Stadium nowadays. It's quiet.
Do you want me to say?
The fans don't sing.
I'll tell you this now, right? West Ham went down. We've been down a couple of times. We've had as many... All right, the stadium's a different thing, right? Okay? So the stadium's an issue, but the fans are there.
Why is the stadium an issue?
Because it's an issue, because we don't like it there. The stadium's an issue.
But what's wrong with it?
It's rubbish. It's like an NFL stadium. That's what's wrong with it.
It doesn't draw in fans. This is the thing with the NFL.
We don't want to draw in fans. We want to draw in people to support the football club. We're talking about supporters, right? Supporting a football club. We want people there to support the football club, not to eat and drink, and have a good time and have a little dance at half time and watch the fireworks that go off.
It's
and
a lot of
Janet
fun,
Jackson, whoever turns up at half time. We don't do none of that here. We go there to support our football team. We go up and down the country, across Europe. I've done it. Yeah. Your teams, one of them are moved from one state to another state. No one will ever hear about it again. And the fans go, who do we support now? The one that comes here. There's no way on earth your supporters are better than...
Every Premier League team is going to have a certain section of fans, 4,000 or 5,000 fans, that are going to be dedicated and go every week, right?
No way, mate.
When Aston Villa got relegated...
way.
Let me argue this. When Aston Villa got relegated to Championship, our stadium fits 42,000 people.
Right.
There were games where we were only getting 27,000, 28,000 people. NFL is a closed league. You've got teams like the Las Vegas Raiders. They haven't been good in almost 30 years.
And what was Portland before?
They still pack up.
Did people from Portland go to Las Vegas now, or did they just pick up a new bunch of supporters who decided to follow the franchise? Because they're not teams; they're franchises.
This is how dedicated the fans are.
They're not dedicated.
You still get Oakland Raiders fans that will go to Las Vegas and watch the game. I can't put a number on it.
1, 2,
I
3.
can't put a number on it. But with the Premier League, right? If your team is bad in the Premier League, and I've seen it, if your team is bad in the Premier League, fans don't go to the games. If your team is bad in the Premier League, fans leave 10, 20, 30 minutes before the end of the game.
That's nonsense.
If your team is bad, fans don't get to the stadium as early. I saw a video of a fan going to the West Ham stadium. He was like, the atmosphere's awful because they're bad. Season's halfway through. You might win the last half of the games, but your fans aren't coming anymore. Aston Villa, when we got relegated to the Championship...
We fill up the ground every week.
Are you?
Yes.
I've been to London Stadium. It is a library.
That's one season. Your teams move across states.
And it's still loud.
Nobody cares.
It's still loud.
Once they've left, nobody cares.
No.
Like that. Portland Raiders have gone to Las Vegas. Oh, well. Who's the next one coming along?
Not even.
It's franchises.
The fans still pack out the stadiums.
The supporters for these teams, we go through thick and thin, right?
Only a portion of you. Only a portion of you. How many Premier League teams, and we all know it, how many Premier League teams, you go to Anfield, how many of those fans are tourists? You go to Stamford Bridge.
That don't mean we haven't got supporters.
4,000 or 5,000 maybe. 4,000 or 5,000 dedicated ones. I sit in the whole end. Upper Hull.
Blow this whistle. Finish this right now because that is nonsense.
Upper Hull.
4,000 or 5,000 in every
100%.
Premier League stadium.
Talk about the away games in Europe as well. Talk about going away games.
Do you go to away games?
Huh?
Do you go to away games? NFL?
Oh, yeah.
Do you go to away games? NFL?
NFL? Yeah, I've been to away games in the NFL.
How many?
Well, if you class
but no, how many of your fans go to away games? So if
go look at the Denver Broncos versus Las Vegas Raiders. We had almost 25,000 fans.
Every team here, whether they're in the Premier League or in the lower league, right, will have a fan base that follow them week in, week out.
1,000
There
maybe.
is not.
1,000
There
maybe.
is not a bunch of supporters from any of them teams, any of them.
Buffalo Bills, San Francisco 49ers.
But what about them?
Denver Broncos, Seattle Seahawks.
They have a fan. How many? How many?
The Indiana Hoosiers.
How many?
About 30, 40,000. The Indiana Hoosiers.
Follow them week in, week out?
Week in,
No
week
way.
out. Green Bay Packers will play the Dallas Cowboys. They'll take 20,000 fans, right? We get NFL games in the UK. They bring 15, 20,000 fans over from America just to watch their team.
No,
in the UK.
that's on holiday. We're not talking about support. That's going on holiday.
Mate, do you not think when Villa play in the Europa Conference League, do you not think we went to Mostar and we went, oh, this is a lovely holiday in Croatia?
No.
100%.
Because I went all around Europe with West Ham, and not one of them were. I flew in and out one day. I go there to support my football team, and so
100%.
does everybody else. They go there to follow. You go because it's in London. Well, not you, but personally, but I'm just saying the fans come over. But that's nice, isn't it? We could go to London. We could go and have a couple of beers. No.
We can go support our team.
You're not supporting nothing.
We can
There's
rep
no support there.
we can rep our colours. We can shout for our team, and we will travel. One thing I love about Premier League is away fans that go up and down the country. But as tickets are increasing in the Premier League, as fans are becoming a bit more disillusioned with Premier League football, fans are pulling away from the sport. I've gone to QPR, right? I've seen maybe 200-300 Rotherham fans at QPR. 20 years ago, you might see 2,000-3,000 Rotherham fans. Not today. Mate, this argument, you probably win this in 2005. Not in 2025, when Premier League tickets are now through the roof. Fans don't want to go...
Capped at 30 quid.
Away. But then you need to buy a membership. You need to be lucky to even get the ticket. 100. Maybe not for West Ham because no one wants to go see West Ham away. But when it comes when it comes to Villa,
we've got one of the most dedicated away fan bases on the planet.
How many away fans do you take to win a game?
As many as we can get in.
Let's say
as many as we can get in. That's how many they will sell week in, week out. As many as they give us. If you give us 30,000, there will be 30,000 there. If you give us 300, there will be 300 there. And that goes for the stadium as well.
Most of the time, though.
Because we're not going there. People are not going there to have a little sing and a dance and watch the fireworks at half time. We're going there to watch the football.
Not have a sing and a dance?
Yeah, that's right.
Football fans love chanting more than anything.
That's chanting, it's not singing and dancing.
No, but...
Can I just cut in? I just want to confirm, just so I know. When away fans go to NFL games, there's not a separate section.
There's not a separate section, no. That does, and do you know what? That doesn't ruin the atmosphere. It makes it a lot better. Because, as you said, if we can take 30,000 fans, we'll take 30,000. But you can't do that in Premier League.
We're territorial.
Can't do that in Premier League. In the NFL,
so does it make you a better fan?
Denver Broncos away to Las Vegas Raiders a few weeks ago, right?
Right.
They took about 25,000 fans.
Who?
The Denver Broncos. Right. To Las Vegas. You've now got 25,000 Broncos fans up against 35,000 Raiders fans. Do you not think the atmosphere was better? Because now you've got more of them versus more of them. Imagine it.
I'm sure they was clinking hot dogs as they was eating.
Oh, trust me. Divisional rivals, they were not. And Raiders fans, and it will sound crazy, they can get very naughty. You watch some of these videos outside the NFL stadium.
That's why they let 25k in.
Fans are fighting, and it gets
territorial.
What,
for one game?
Yeah.
Look at football as a general, not just the Premier. Look at football as a general. There are so many fierce, loyal fans. They are 100,000 million times better than an NFL fan because they don't even pass each other in the street and trade an insult. Go to a West Ham Tottenham game. Go to a Sunderland Newcastle game. And they ain't gonna be sitting together in the stand.
Sunderland Newcastle, maybe, but Sunderland Newcastle hasn't been played in 6-7 years. The one thing about the NFL is every year...
They got played this last week.
And in the FA Cup game, when it was a one-off, it was that bad that they had to completely separate the two because they knew how bad it was going to kick off.
But when it comes to
it's so fierce and so right.
But fierceness of fans doesn't make a better fan. What I think makes a better fan and makes a better atmosphere is how invested everyone is. Fair enough that you can say that the most fierce...
But how can you... Right, now you've just killed yourself. Invested.
Yeah.
In how invested you are in a team. If your team will get up and move a state and there will not be people following them.
They will.
They won't.
Oh, 100%.
They won't.
They're 100%.
They won't.
You get fans that move with the team. You get an Oakland Raiders...
Where?
In the NFL. You get Oakland Raiders fans that are like, do you know what? I love the Oakland Raiders.
I'm going to need some proof of
that.
No,
you can search up afterwards.
There's Oakland Raiders fans that move to Las Vegas when their team... Because I've seen so many of these teams move state and they've got a whole new fan base.
But now listen to this, right? You guys moved from the Bowling Ground over to London Stadium. Yeah. How many of your fans have stopped going to the London Stadium?
40,000, but that's not because of the football, it's because of the ownership.
There you go. NFL fans, they'd still go.
No, they wouldn't.
They would.
No, they would.
Because of the way it's set up. It's franchises. As an NFL fan, you know what you're getting into. You know that you're going into a franchise. You know any year. Your team.
So they also know they can't go down. If you had the same thing in NFL and they went down 4 divisions and then they was playing some nimby-bimby team from down below, you wouldn't go. You wouldn't go because you like the glitz and the glamour. We don't care about the glitz and the glamour. We go to watch the football.
But when the football's bad, you go stop watching. When the stadium's bad, you go stop watching.
Well, you go because Janet Jackson's playing at half time.
And you know what?
And Justin Timberlake. Why do you think they have these big stars there? Because that's what they have to give to get you in.
But I've also seen West Ham. You guys float bubbles at the start of your games to try and build an atmosphere.
It's not an atmosphere. That's tradition.
Stamford Bridge has started playing music after a goal because they're trying to build an atmosphere because they know they can't.
I can't speak for them.
This is undeniable. The atmosphere in Premier League stadiums, especially, is dying because fans are disillusioned, the prices of tickets are going through the roof, and the quality of football, fans don't feel like what they're seeing on the field is what they really want. West Ham is such a great example. Your ownership have killed your club, killed them. Don't
talk to me about ownerships killing clubs because they move them across the country.
But that's where I win the argument.
I need 30 seconds from each of you to define what a fan is and why you're the best fan.
Okay. A fan is someone that goes to support their club. They don't go there for the glitz and the glamour. They go there to support a football team. They follow them, rain or shine, right? There are so many clubs. If you look all across this country, there are so many clubs that have them week in, week out. Fans are not going there. If you've got true fans in your sport, you don't need to be doing fireworks and goal music and having pop stars at half time. You go there, FA Cup final. People go there to watch the FA Cup. I'm seeing you charging $30,000-$40,000 dollars or whatever it is to go and watch Justin bloody Timberlake, and that's the only reason people turn up. They're not turning up for the sport, and that's what a fan is. They turn up to watch the thing that they're going to watch.
Complete lies. I think, and I very much know this because college football is very different to the NFL. If we didn't have Janet Jackson performing at halftime, by the way, it's absolutely wonderful. You should try it. If we didn't have Janet Jackson performing at halftime, if we didn't have the glitz and glam, if we didn't have fireworks, we'd still go there to watch a hard-nosed, brutal game of American football. College football proves that easily. I think a fan is someone that even if their owner moves them from Las Vegas to Oakland, they'll still go. I think a fan is, even if a Super Bowl ticket is $4,000 or $5,000, but it's your team's first year, they'll still go. I think a fan is someone that is dedicated, like these guys who stay up until 3, 4, 5 a.m. just to watch their team every single week. That is a dedicated fan. I look at the Premier League and I see a bunch of fans that are disillusioned and they are no longer fans anymore because the sport is dwindling.
What a load of fucking tosh.
This is a hard one, but I'm going to have to say on terms of arguments, and no one's going to agree. This is a tough one, but I'm going to say football fans win this one. Purely because but if I took every sport out of it, personally, I would think a fan is someone who roots for the club, and the club isn't just the players. The club is their idea of what they believe that club is. And I do think it's okay for a fan not to go to a game if the ownership is going wrong. If I was a fan and my club was moving states, I know it doesn't happen very often, but if I was a fan and my club was moving states, I'd be like, I am outraged with this. We wouldn't
allow it.
Football fans just wouldn't allow that. Whereas I feel like there might be a bit more of a separation between the clubs and the fans. But again, it's all subjective.
It's a close one. It's a close one.
It was, but extremely good arguments.
yeah.
Shake hands. Statement 3. It means more to win the Super Bowl than it does to win the Champions League.
I'm intrigued to hear such utter bollocks. So do you want to go first?
I want you to tell me, who do you support?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
How many times have Chelsea won the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
How many times?
Club World Cup.
It's on my mind. How many times have Chelsea won the Champions League in the last 15 years?
Twice.
How many times have been in the final?
Twice.
They haven't though, have they? Been 3 times, haven't they, mate?
We've been 3 times. We lost in Moscow in 2008,
Yeah.
one in 2012 in Munich, and 2021 in Porto.
Do you think that being in the Champions League final 3 times in 20 years is good going?
I'd say we've done pretty well. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty
How
good.
many times have Liverpool been in the same situation? How many times have Real Madrid been in the same
Real Madrid
situation?
is an
How many
absolute
times have Man
beast.
United won the Champions League? How many times have all of these big teams won the Champions League in a fairly short amount of time? Liverpool have been in the Champions League 2 years in a row. Even Arsenal have been in the...
Didn't win it 2 years in a row.
No, they didn't win it 2 years in a row, but they were in the Champions League final 2 years in a row. I would say that you have seen so many
a fake fact.
big... No, it's not.
What 2 years were Arsenal in the final?
I didn't say Arsenal, I said
He
Liverpool.
said Liverpool. You've been in it once. Just stay quiet. You're an Arsenal fan.
you're right.
I am the only one. I'm the only one qualified to answer this argument. I'm the only one qualified in this entire room to have this argument. All right, pack it in. I've got this.
I would say that if you look at the most successful Champions League teams over, let's even look at the last 20 years, you're looking at the same teams and the same teams and the same teams. I will give you the rare occasion when Porto win the Champions League and how much that means to that team, how much it means to the sports, how much it means to the country. I will give you that. But I will say that generally speaking, you are looking at the same teams winning year in, year out. The Super Bowl is a completely different situation. Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs have been successful over the last few years. The New England Patriots were successful before that.
How many
We're
times?
looking at dynasties, right? We're looking at dynasties there.
Stop
And
for
I
me.
would say that you're looking at, there's 32 teams that could possibly win.
Okay.
There have been so many teams that are yet to even make a Super Bowl, not even win it. Now, how much would it mean to that fan base? How much would it mean to those teams, to the people that have been so invested for all of their lives
Right.
to even get to a Super Bowl? This is the moment that they have been dreaming for all of their life. I would say for loads of teams that are even involved in the Champions League. Carabag are not making a Champions League final, right? They're not winning a Champions League. And I think that I'm not even insulting the Carabag supporters by saying that. It's just the truth. You're looking at a handful of teams that are possibly going to win the Champions League. In the Super Bowl, it's all open.
Okay. Firstly, obviously, that happens in a closed league when you have the same teams over and over, whatever happens there, right? You've said over the past 20 years, you just mentioned dynasties. I'm going to be very honest, I don't watch the NFL because I've tried, find it incredibly boring and tedious and a complete waste of time. In terms of people watching, the World Cup or the Champions League absolutely dwarfs the Super Bowl in terms of visibility. So, ergo, it means more.
It's visibility. Visibility isn't everything.
So you're saying I could have a Sunday League team and it could mean a lot to a massive community and we win the Champions League, which would be fantastic, by the way. But by that logic,
What's the statement? Repeat the statement.
It means more to win the Super Bowl than it does to win the Champions League.
So let's go. Carry on with your visibility argument.
With that case, when it's the amount of people that watch it, there's more people that are entertained by it, more people that you're there to have enjoy the overall experience. Ergo, I mean, if you take Messi, for example, in terms of a player on his own, because we could talk about Tom Brady or whatever, he's so irrelevant outside of that sport that he's now had to buy a football team and make an Amazon documentary for people to care about him, and we still think he's a knob. But outside of that, it's very much a case of you have players, because you mentioned about people when it being a massive deal. Messi wins the Champions League, Argentina cheers for him. Ronaldo wins the Champions League, whole of Portugal's cheering for him. There are single players, and not even just the players in for those countries. There are fans all over the world that will watch them win the Champions League. Also, when you say it means more, financially, it absolutely dwarfs it. Let's take the 2022 Super Bowl, right? Did 600 million in revenue. The Champions League did 3.1 billion. So for people, because there'll be different things, you've talked about the emotive aspect, I've talked about visibility, I've talked about financial, and I've talked about the emotive aspect because there are so many more people with the visibility that enjoy the Champions League and the football that it brings. There's a reason why football is the biggest sport in the world, and I was up till 10 o'clock trying to find NFL fans to do this shoot yesterday.
Yeah, cheers for the call this morning, by the way. I think you just need to look at the teams that are eligible to win a Super Bowl that have got nowhere near to win
You just
a
said
Super Bowl.
Carabag are eligible, they didn't win.
Carabag are eligible, but there's no chance that they're going to get there. I guess my point really is that we could narrow it down to really probably about 6 or 7 teams that are likely to win the Champions League, right? We can narrow it down to 6 to 9 to 7 or 8 teams.
So 2 more teams!
Well, I just really didn't want to see this in a video, to be honest. We can narrow it down to a few teams that are possibly going to win the Champions League final. You've got 32 teams with a chance. Now, you are right, it is a closed league. In theory, so many more teams can win the Champions League.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I could win it.
They're not gonna. Could you win it?
I think I could.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a different argument altogether, I think, to be honest. And you will lose that one, and massively. I think that you need to look at the aspect of it means more. Okay, fine. Financially, I think that you're looking at it from revenue, like you're looking at it from a broadcast rights and all of that. Global, okay? Mm-hmm. I understand that. Domestic, the NFL is unbelievably big in the US. It is the biggest league, by the way, in the world. If you're looking at financially, it is the biggest league in the world.
Because it's a closed league.
Well, it's not just because of that. Of course it's not because of that.
There's a multitude of factors, and obviously financially, yeah, there's definitely things to invest in it, but overall, it's a closed league. And the reason with that is just people don't care about it that much, evidently.
Go on then, give me some. You can't just say things
Well,
and
I did
expect
just
people
say
to
it.
believe
People
them.
don't care. I made my point earlier. I was up till 10 o'clock last night trying to find you lot. You had to help me. It's one of those where it's like, it's a situation where, look, I get what you're saying about it close. Yes, it tends to happen when you have one of the largest economies in the world that will invest heavily into one of their sports, but they cannot take it global. They're trying, credit to them, and you guys wouldn't be here without that, and fair play to them for that. But there's just not enough audience for it. People do not care about it as much as they care about football. That's a fact. It's a fact.
But I think that we need to narrow down then, it means more, okay? It means
What does that
more.
mean? It's like,
Well, I would say,
so
okay.
American. It
I
means
didn't-
more.
I didn't write this phrase.
ESPN
I did not write this. I did not
I've
write
watched
this.
Dodgeball, all right? I know what it does.
Wait, it means more. It's so American, yeah?
It's very-
Well, I've just won the
very
argument then. I think
expansive
he's just said that I'm right in that respect. No, wait. I want to just point this out, okay? You have looked at the financial aspects, right? I understand that. You've given very, very specific examples of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi.
Hamza
Fine.
Chowdhury in Bangladesh.
Fine. Okay.
He hasn't been in the Champions League final, but I'll tell you what, he's played for Leicester and did all right for a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think that you are looking at what the real sentiment of this is, which is it means more. And it means more to the fans of those teams. It means more to the franchise. It means more to the players to win a Super Bowl than the Champions League. And I'll tell you why. It's because the same teams win the Champions League. I know that it's the NFL.
So there's teams that win it consistently. You talked about the New England Patriots. You talked about Kansas City Chiefs.
Every one of those teams has a chance to win the Super Bowl and could easily get there and has proven to be there or thereabouts. You have got nearly every team that is in the Champions League that has very little chance to get to the final, very little chance to get and to win the Champions League.
Referee, I had one more point there.
On the basis of the arguments that have been made, I have to say that NFL have gone up 2-1 on this one.
It's a fix.
Thanks for the call.
The next statement is, the NFL is more entertaining to watch on TV than the Premier League.
I think there's just more highlight-worthy moments across an NFL game that are better for broadcast than there is in football.
Well, that's
First and foremost, I can say a lot of things on this, but first and foremost, that is my opener. There's
Okay.
more highlight-worthy moments in an NFL game than there are in a football game.
Okay, well,
across
first
90
of
minutes.
all, that's because you man play for about 7 hours. I'll take it right from the beginning. Me personally, when I'm told 2 p.m. kickoff, I want to open my TV 2 p.m., it's ready. You guys, it's like a party. Oh yeah, we might pull up around 2, half 2, we'll get started. We might start whenever we feel
Contrary
like
to
it.
popular
First and
belief,
foremost.
that happens with the NBA. The NFL starts right on the time.
Well,
it says
we
it
shall
does.
see. You have 4 different quarters. It lasts so long. One of the worst things about football that I think you may agree on, VAR. You guys, the VAR is about 5 hours as well.
VAR
so
is
that's
actually
already
done way better in the NFL
Oh,
than
it
is
takes
in
a
the
long
Premier League.
time, man. It takes a long time. Now, we'll add more to that as well. You told me before you support Arsenal, right? How do you feel like we're doing at the moment?
Pretty well.
Do you enjoy the way that we're playing at the moment, or is it just
Not really.
Why
At
is that?
times.
Why is that?
It's just a lot of, I don't know, there seems to be attacking issues with Arsenal playing.
Let me get him right now. Me as an Arsenal fan myself, I admit this. We're very, very set-piece heavy. Everyone's crying that Arsenal are ruining football because of their set-piece culture and whatnot. That's your sport in every single game. That's all you man do. 5 hours of telling the coach, yeah, you're going to run there, you're going to move there a little bit. Your set-piece coach is doing this. But you are here saying yourself, you don't really enjoy watching Arsenal.
You can say set pieces are all NFL is, all of that. But then when you see a quarterback throw a 20-yard fade and someone takes a one-handed catch, touches his toes to get it just inside and brings it down, that's a set play, and that's on every highlight reel on ESPN all week.
But guess what?
60-yard bomb from
But I
behind
don't
the
care
halfway
about,
line for a touchdown. That's a set play.
It's about watching the game
week.
now, not the highlights afterwards. Watching the game now.
Yeah,
So
and
for
they'll
example,
replay that
we
60-yard bomb or that 20-yard fade over the shoulder.
Yeah, because there's so many
times in the
ad breaks.
game.
There's so many ad breaks. That's why.
Yeah, but and then
I tried to watch NFL.
there'll be 10 of those
they start
in
telling
a
me-
game,
they start
20 of
telling
those
me,
in a game.
But hey, check out 0800 is for diabetes. I'm thinking, bro, what's going on?
A one-handed catch like that is as good as a goal going in highlight-wise in
No, do you know why it's
football.
not? Do you know why
and
it's
there's maybe
not?
at best 2 or 3 of those in a football game, and in an NFL game you'll get 10, 20, 30 of those moments in a game.
Let me tell you why it's not. Because in that football one that you've described here, let's say someone scores a banger, they run off, they jump in the crowd, they're celebrating. You guys can't do that. It's restricted. You have to just, thumbs up,
Have you never heard of the Lambeau leap?
You're not
NFL
allowed
player
to
scores a
interact with the
touchdown, he
fans.
jumps into the fans and celebrates with them.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one.
It's called the Lambeau leap. It's got a name. It's literally got a name. The
I've
Lambeau
not seen
leap.
that in my highlight reel.
They at Lambeau Field for the Green Bay
I don't
Packers. They
see-
score
I
a
don't
touchdown.
see
They
no-
jump
I
into
don't
the
see no fan
stadium with the
limbs.
fans.
I don't see no fan
It
limbs
happens
as
every
far as
week.
I'm
Just because because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Then it means it's not making my highlight reels. It means it wasn't that good.
Let me ask you a question then.
Go for
How
it.
much NFL would you say you watch?
Oh, I watch a whole lot of NFL, guys. I'm massive
Yeah,
NFL
no one's
watcher.
believing you in this building.
Because it's boring, bro. Nobody wants to watch
That's
that.
beside the point. That's your opinion, yeah? But NFL, someone who loves NFL and Premier League, it's so entertaining. It's got so many highlights from minute 1 to minute 5. And you can say ad breaks is boring, it takes too long. That's why they invented NFL Red Zone. It's 7 hours of ad-free football. You can cross between game to game to game to game, highlights after highlights after highlights, and it's just non-stop action.
And that's the problem. I've got you already again. You're
How?
mentioning Red Zone. The problem with that is that you guys don't care enough about the long game. You rather open Red Zone and just look at when there's things happening. You don't want to sit through the actual game. Nobody wants to do that.
No.
You don't want to sit through the whole game. You want to go on Red Zone. Oh, there's a goal here.
If
there's
you
a
want to
goal
watch,
touchdown.
and that's the thing about accessibility
got
to
your
football. Accessibility to football in America is better than accessibility to football in England.
Why are guys watching
Sky
Red
Sports
Zone
doesn't-
rather than watching
Sky
the game
Sports
the team they support?
you can't even watch half the Premier League every weekend because there's a 3 p.m. blackout. You can watch every game if you want to as an NFL
Hold on a
fan.
minute. Hold on a
Every
minute.
single game,
Hold on a
or you
minute.
can watch Red Zone.
What has that got to do with the take, though? It's better to watch.
It's better to watch the product on TV than it is in England. In England, you can't watch it on.
No, but we're talking
half
about
the
watching
games.
an individual game. You're telling me about the games you can't watch.
No,
What's that got to
I'm
do
talking
with
about the
anything?
product. NFL is better to watch on TV than soccer
If it
is,
was
or
so
football
good,
is.
they wouldn't need to be inviting Beyonce and Jay-Z
That's
because
one
people's
game in a
attention
year.
span.
That's one game in a year.
People's attention span is
That's
so
one
bad
game in a year.
that you have to put
There's
on
a whole
Red Zone.
season where they don't do that.
Nobody. It's about what 1 or 2 months a year. Nobody cares.
One sec. So you're telling me categorically there's absolutely no way to watch a Premier League game while it's on?
I mean, you can illegal stream anything.
He's
So you
talking
can
about
watch it.
Saturday 3 p.m. though, aren't you?
Yeah, Saturday 3 p.m.
Dave, down the Black Horse, £30, back of the telly, sorted.
Why do you think there's a blackout? There's a blackout because people want to watch it and they won't go to the stadium if they wanted to watch it on telly.
Yeah, but there's a blackout so people can watch football of lower league teams and support them. That's beside the point.
It's not besides the point because what he's saying is right. It's so entertaining that people would watch those games at 3 p.m. rather than go outside to watch the game because the product is so fun
Yeah,
to watch
but
on
that's
TV.
again, that's
It's
a
not for you guys.
hypothetical. The fact of the matter is,
It's not hypothetical. That's the reason they brought it. It's not
but
hypothetical.
you can say
They brought it in
you
for
can
that
say
reason.
you can say if it was on TV they would watch it, but the fact of the matter is it isn't, so they don't. In the
No, but it
NFL,
was
in the
beforehand.
NFL, all of the games are shown in full games for fans from those cities that want to watch them, and there's also NFL Red Zone for those that want to be across everything. And if you watch NFL Red Zone, you're across everything. There's no ads. There's no anything. So if that's the way you want to watch it, you can watch it. Otherwise, you can watch a full game and it's just your own team.
Telling me Red Zone is not helping your point at all because that is telling me that the actual sport, the game itself, is not good enough to watch because I have to sit and look for about 8 different games and just wait for a
If
goal
you want to
go
do
in.
that, if you want to watch your own team, you can. But as someone who's interested in the entire league, and I want to be able to watch more than one week, if I could watch concurrent Premier League games in a similar program, I would, because I want to be informed about what's going on
You
the whole
can.
time.
They do have those shows, but I'm not getting paid.
The Premier League has brought that in as well. They've copied the NFL for that reason.
Exactly. They've copied the NFL because they know it's marketable, right? Because they know fans want to watch more than just their one game. So they have now trying to implement broadcasts where you can do that. But the fact is that you can't do it well enough here. The only time the Premier League gets close to it is in the final few games of the season where every game kickoffs at 3 p.m. or 12 p.m. or whatever. And even that, having watched it for a number of seasons now, isn't quite as good, or really anything, as NFL Red Zone.
I'm not sure about that one. Another thing as well I would like to add is the fact that by, let's say, half-time for you guys, so many games are just pretty much a blowout where you might as well just go to bed. You
Not
just open
true.
your phone, sit on
Not
TikTok.
true.
The
Not
game's
true.
done, man. The
Not
game's
true.
done.
Yeah,
Nobody cares, bro.
when Man City are up 5-0
Nobody-
against Watford, and the game's
When were
still close.
when were they 5 up against Watford at half-time?
Huh?
What game was that?
Oh, a few seasons ago now, yeah. But like,
Was it 5-0
when
half-time
Arsenal
then?
were 3-0 up against Leeds earlier in the season. No one's watching that game anymore.
I watched it. I watched it.
Why
weren't you watching it?
Me, as an Arsenal fan, sure. But NFL teams, even if they're watching their own team, they're watching the game.
No,
But
I've seen guys zone out. They're sitting there on their phone. You know, they're dancing in their crowd. Or
I've
whatever.
seen plenty
They're
of people sitting there on their phone at football matches in the Premier League. I see it happen all the time. Because football inherently, as has already been said, is becoming more and more, like you said, set piecey. And it's just the product is not as good as it once
it's not
was.
becoming that more. I reference Arsenal specifically because
But football as a
everyone
whole is becoming
criticising
more set piecey
Arsenal.
and less interesting.
Everyone's criticizing Arsenal, saying that it's ruining football, it's making it not fun to watch, and that's why I asked you, and I caught you in your own trap there. You said, yeah, you're not really enjoying it, but we're getting wins. That is every single team that you might have. I don't even know Green Bay Packers, Miami Dolphins, whatever.
Yeah,
they're all doing the same thing.
Yeah, but the fact that you're saying that shows that you don't really know because you haven't watched it. As
No,
someone
I
who
do.
watches
You-
both.
you agreed with
as
me.
Someone
You
who
agreed
watch-
with me.
As someone who watches both.
You told me
As someone
all you
who
do is that it
watches
was
both,
tactics.
they are both entertaining, but the NFL is a far better product on TV than the Premier League.
Bloody hell, lads. Hey, can we get a round of applause? That was a great argument. But there can only be one winner. And purely off the arguments, I'm going to have to equalise it.
I'm going to do the leap into the fans.
It's time for the final round of 5 NFL fans versus 5 football fans. The score is 2-2, and we've got one statement left. Ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Born ready, mate.
The final statement is NFL stars are bigger celebrities in their own country than football stars.
Ladies first.
Oh, thanks.
You're so welcome.
I'm going to start off by asking you a question.
Yeah.
When was the last time a football player here in England was invited to the BAFTAs, invited to an award show that wasn't like BBC Sports Personality of the Year, anything like that? When was the last time? And can you name me 5 of them?
I'm not going to lie, I find that quite far from the actual point because this should be based on people's footballing exploits. I'll ask you, has there ever been anything similar to when Wu Lei made his Espanyol debut? He's a Chinese striker, absolute randomer. Espanyol, very insignificant Spanish team. 40 million people in China watched that game. They've got no affiliation with Espanyol, and they watched it because Wu Lei was playing, and he was like their god.
So, 4 million people currently live in the Republic of Ireland.
Yep.
When Patrick Whelan, our little punt kicker for the Green Bay Packers, I know obviously it doesn't amount to maybe the same scale as China, but everybody, I think the viewing figures was 3.2 million when Patrick Whelan made his debut. So, I mean, little bit of a comparison there, but he is a household name. He's got that household celebrity status name in Ireland.
And he's quite a high-profile player, I'm assuming.
You know what? Yes and no.
Right.
Kickers aren't kind of, the high-profile quarterback kind of person on their team. So it doesn't matter if you're not, the quarterback, if you're not like the big gun on your team. That just makes my point even better because you could be kind of like a lower level position on your team. You could be, I don't know, second string, third string, whatever it is. If you're still a household name and if you've got that celebrity status in your home country, man, that is phenomenal.
Well, there's celebrity status, and then I'll talk about someone who we referenced earlier, Hamza Chowdhury. No offence, Hamza, bang average, AFL footballer, declared for Bangladesh. He's from England, he's got Bangladeshi heritage. When he went over there to play for the national team, he was getting hoisted in the air and paraded through the streets and treated like royalty. So there's celebrity status, then there's royalty status.
Travis Kelce. Going to throw that one out on the table for you. If you're going to go royalty status, listen, it's difficult to compare Bangladesh and Bangladeshi that kind of level to America. All I've got is America at the moment with this one. But yeah, Travis Kelce, not only is he that household royalty name, I will say, now in America, but it's actually global.
Yeah.
You've got to give that.
And I hear what you're saying. Be brutally honest with me. Would his status be as high if he wasn't Taylor Swift's bloke? Be brutally honest.
But that should...
No, it should, because we're talking about sports stars for what they've done in the sport. We're not talking about sports stars for what they're doing in there.
To be honest, that wasn't on the statement. So NFL stars are bigger celebrities in their home country than football players. Yes.
Why though? Also,
so it shouldn't matter. So,
no,
listen,
yeah,
I'm
listening.
Swifties don't come for me. I'm not the biggest lover.
Yeah.
She's great. She's done beautiful things for women in the game. Gotta love it. It shouldn't matter if Travis is with Taylor Swift or not. That really shouldn't matter. Yes, it helps support the argument here that Travis is a household celebrity name and he's got that celebrity royalty status. Now, not just in America, but globally. But the celebrity status, it doesn't matter if somebody's being hoisted up in the air. If that's all they've got, fine. And that's one example that you're able to give me. If you're able to give me other examples, especially within England, within the UK here, that'd be great.
What players who've played in the UK?
From the UK. So I mean, I don't know that much about football. I'll say that.
My phone. Oh, what's that?
Oh, and I wasn't leaving out notes either. That's cheating.
I didn't look at it. Don't worry.
It's fine. But so give me some examples kind of here, because obviously Bangladesh and everything, that's different. That's worldwide, that's a culture.
I'm sorry, I do feel like you're trying to back me into a corner here. I think it's very different to talk specifically about England, obviously much smaller than America, and also NFL is big in America and big nowhere else. So when it's your national sport, that's going to be easier.
That proves my point.
It doesn't, because that's one specific country with one specific sport. You're talking about, I can talk to you about a player who's played in England. He's not English. Asamoah Gyan played one season for Sunderland 15, 20 years ago, and to this day, there's villages in Ghana who support Sunderland purely because Asamoah Gyan played one season for Sunderland. And that's the sort of influence they have on This is people worldwide.
Now get her in America.
Reynaldo plays
Now
for us
get her
now.
in
He's the
America.
first Mozambican to ever play in the Premier League. Imagine the reception he got at AFCON when he was representing his country. It was ridiculous because he's absolutely made history for that country by playing in the Premier League.
That's fine. I mean, obviously, with the international player pathway now coming into NFL, we do have a lot more international players. So I'm just going to kind of use your example that you've given there.
feel free.
Household names, celebrity status. That's what we're going with because that's on the statement that was read out.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to use Jordan Mailata.
Yeah.
Defensive player with the Philadelphia Eagles from Australia. Huge household name over there. Gets so much coverage, TV adverts, sponsorship deals, gets invited to events in his home country. It's different, obviously, it's a Western country and everything. Of course, it's going to be different to other ones that you've mentioned there. But it's still, like, my point still stands. NFL stars have got bigger celebrity status in their home countries, bigger celebrity status than football fans. And you've got to define, what do you define as celebrity status? What do you define as that?
Being, as you say, talking about household names, but for
a
me...
household name, what? Okay, so recognised on the street. Brand deals, being invited to events. Is it what, a certain amount of followers on socials? What are you defining as celebrity status?
I think it depends. When it comes to players of a sport, it's how they're recognised for their contributions to said sport. But like you were talking about America there, I don't even think that some of these NFL guys are the most famous athletes in their country. Lionel Messi played against, I think it was Vancouver the other year, didn't play. Vancouver fans asking for their money back because Lionel Messi, the Argentine, wasn't playing. And that was for a team that they didn't even support. They're not even the most famous athletes in their own country compared to footballers.
That's not the question, then.
But I love that point, by the way.
Thank you.
But that's not the question. The question is, like, NFL stars are bigger celebrities.
This is what I mean though. Like you've sort of, so I've named players from certain countries, and you've gone, oh well, that's this country, that's country, this isn't England, this isn't America. I think you have to take into account the fact that there's a lot more footballers from a lot more different countries. It's a lot more wider recognised sport. So yes, it is going to be balanced further, but you have to think. We talk about Bangladesh. Yeah, you say it's a smaller country, but in terms of the population and the amount of people who are invested in said player, when you work it out, the maths is in our favour.
Tom Brady, huge celebrity status in America. I'm going to have to use players' home countries. And I think, as we know, rightly said by my beautiful boys here, 95% of players currently in the NFL are from America. So I've got to use America as an example. Okay. Celebrity status, you can't get bigger. You know what? Maybe the only person that could be able to take on Tom Brady would be somebody like David Beckham.
Who has a knighthood, by the way.
But Tom Brady, well, unfortunately, I won't get into politics. I'm probably not best for this show, but America doesn't have that, okay? If America were able to give knighthoods, Tom Brady would have them in tenfolds. Tom Brady will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. That is without a doubt. That is kind of the equivalent, I would say, of getting that Sir status that David Beckham has, okay? Right. David Beckham could just about take on the likes of Tom Brady, but David Beckham, even he went over to America, played in an American league.
And took over.
A lot of these footballers and stuff, I mean, tell me, like, why do these Premier League players and stuff, why do they always go over and invest in America afterwards? Why do Premier League...
I'm sorry, but Tom Brady's bought into Birmingham City, so it goes both ways.
But why do Premier League players then always come over to America, come to NFL games, come to Tottenham? Why do they always want pictures and stuff on sideline with American football stars coming over here? Why do they always want to get in and jump on that celebrity status, get a picture, you know, with Josh Allen, get a picture with Travis Kelce?
But does that not
Why
work
do they
both
always
ways?
want to do it?
Everybody wants a picture with Conor McGregor when they see him at the UFC. Does that make him more famous than any footballer or any...
I mean, Conor McGregor is a household name, so you've got to give him that. But tell me kind of why Premier League stars, why do they always want to come to an NFL game and get their pictures taken, get that little celebrity snapshot, put it on socials, make themselves a bigger name?
Celebrities from all walks of life, no matter what they're in, will get brought to these things, and it's purely for the marketability, for their collaboration. Like, I don't think Luke Combs is a Tottenham fan. I've seen him at Spurs. Does that give him any sort of affiliation and want with the area? Not really. So I don't see how it's...
No, but what I'm asking is, like, because if it's celebrity status...
No, but I mean, if, like, it's just because they're a football. If I got to say, oh yeah, you can go to the NFL, we'll fly you out, we'll pay for you, you can get a picture with me, I'd say, yeah, I don't care about it. It's just a nice opportunity, isn't it?
It is a nice opportunity, yeah. I wish I had that.
Yep.
I mean, I'm standing on business here. NFL stars are bigger celebrities and household names in their own country. Yes. I mean, even I couldn't tell you some household football players' names here. And I should be able
I've
to.
got a question for you because I genuinely don't know because I don't watch NFL. What percentage would you say of the people who do like the NFL punditry are former players from America?
Oh, it's
Of the top ones, not just like people who might do the odd interview. I'm talking like the main men.
the top pundits, yeah.
Yeah, the equivalents to like your Jamie Carragher's, your Micah Richards, your Roy Keanes, your Paul Scholes, Gary Neville.
It's definitely about 50-50 split between everybody that's on it, yeah.
It's probably in terms of players who played at the highest level and have big influence.
So you've got
in
players,
football,
you've
it's
got
like
ex-coaches.
90%.
So you've got ex-coaches as well. You've got people that have come through. So, for example, Tom Brady, Greg Olsen, they're two of the biggest ones now on Fox. Both played X amount of years and stuff within the NFL. Gronk as well, huge. You've got, Pat McAfee as well. Well, Pat McAfee played in the NFL, and he is huge. Oh my God, he's not just even a household name in America, he's huge across the world. But other pundits and stuff include coaches. That is a big thing as well. So you've got coaches, you've got people that have come in through college as well. That's a big thing. So it doesn't just transcend NFL. And then obviously, I'd probably say maybe like 20%, if you'd agree, are journalists, people who've come through the punditry side of things that way and are lovers of the sport. So it's not just it's not just NFL players, it's coaches as well that are now pundits.
Right, okay, but we're talking about obviously the players right now and the people in the top of the punditry scene in this country, from this country, vast majority of which are former players because they are put to that status and their opinions and what they value is massively respected in this country, and I think that should only work in our favour in this argument.
But I don't see how it does, I'm afraid.
Well, you talk about celebrity status
and household names.
Yeah. So like Gary Neville's on Monday Night Football. He's on, and people are putting his opinion and his sort of word, like we buy into it because.
Okay, so we buy into obviously Greg Olsen, so he's a massive household name over in America. So he's probably, I'd use him say as an equivalent of Gary Neville then.
Right. Okay.
Okay, give me another one.
Jamie Carragher.
Okay, Tom Brady.
But what? No, this is the thing. I can keep going. Micah Richards, Paul Scholes.
I kind of just don't understand your point of having
I don't understand your point
of having the footballers now becoming pundits.
You were talking about the celebrity status, and now I'm saying we're seeing so many British
so
former players on the TV every
celebrity
week.
Status?
I'm saying that on the TV every week. You were talking about everything drives into celebrity status.
Disqualified.
This is so hard because.
What do you define as a celebrity? Yeah.
Can you're British, right? Do you think if an English NFL player walked down the street, how many people would stop him? Because we said in their own country. English NFL players.
That's really difficult.
But I'm saying that it's in our country. We're English.
It's not, are they more famous?
So, right, I made a decision. Right, I made a decision. I'm going to explain it first, okay? The reason why I'm making the decision is because of the phrasing of the statement. And I'm sticking to the phrasing of the statement, which is in their own country, right? First thing I'm going to say, I completely understand NFL stars are the biggest in America. And yeah, give you that, biggest in America. The reason I'm making this decision is because the statement is in their own country. And it's very hard. It is a hard argument for you guys because you've only got America. I feel like there's a hell of a lot more countries. And I know there's few, but there is also few from few countries. So for that reason, I do have to give this one to soccer.
Oh, BT's win!
Soccer! I'm really sorry. That has been 5 NFL fans versus 5 football fans. Maybe I didn't get it right. Let us know down in the comments and maybe we'll run this one back and Team USA can win. Let's go!
Let's go, guys!